People who have never worked in a shop simply can't get a handle on what an absolute ball ache it is. There are some good things about it, like the team spirit and the staff discount, but that's probably just all there is. The customer is not always right. The squeaky wheel doesn't necessarily get the grease. Ignorance is not bliss. Those are just the leading annoying behaviors exhibited by customers. Customers make mistakes, lots of them, but some are just so vexing that they allow employees to justify their unethical practices.
To be fair, no 2 days in retail are alike. Every day comes with a new raft of problems to deal with. So here's the top 30 annoying customer types in retail.
Browsers. Browsers are not to be confused with time wasters. These shoppers will mostly be seen very early into the morning when the store is first open. Browsers will look for the best deals and bargains, or will just look around for the said product thereafter, often getting argumentative when asked for help. Browsers can be a problem in the store when more than one staff keeps asking the same customer if they are in need of help. Then the customer would become a complainer.
Restroom Shoppers. Restroom shoppers are customers who only use your store for restroom purposes only and simply will not bother to shop for any other products. And on even occasion, you may even get a number of customers asking where the bathroom is, despite having no intention of buying anything. Be warned on the customers who come in with their kids asking for the restroom. You might find some unpleasant things on the wall.
Environmental shoppers. These customers are the people that get angry or their attitude will shift considerably when they're asked for a shopping bag. Despite the fact you're telling them politely that a bag may help them carry heavy loads to their car, they'll just give you a mean stare. Environmental shoppers will complain about the bag saying, "Cruelty to trees," or "Save the forest," "Protect the environment," when it's just a bag to help you get to your vehicle and house.
Must-have shoppers. Must-have shoppers are customers who focus directly on a specific product and will rarely ever change their opinion, even though you're trying to offer them a better deal. They're also shoppers who will outright refuse to believe the product is not lost and will attempt to order you to phone up its whereabouts and even attempt some sort of discount if things don't go their way.
Early shoppers. Early shoppers are the customers that are so determined to get that product. They're lined up outside of the door hours before the shop even opens, sometimes even elbowing others out of the way or rushing in as soon as it opens. Early shoppers are sometimes classified as browsers, or on rare instances, a Ravager. Early shoppers also can be classified as Chatty Folk, since these are most likely elderly customers who like to come in during the early hours of the morning.
Chatty Folk. The Chatty Folk are usually comprised of the elderly generation, who despite their happy, cheery demeanor, they can be a little annoying when it comes to trying to serve another customer or trying to get stuff done. The Chatty Folk usually focus on a specific topic or sometimes asking personal questions about yourself. Unfortunately, it's hard to hate them, since they are far nicer than some of the other types of shoppers and customers you're likely to see in the store.
The Interuptor. The Interuptor is a customer that will attempt to interrupt a customer and a staff member when they're already engaged in conversation. Interrupters are generally considered a major nuisance, but will usually back down if the other customer is eager to get the first argument. Interrupters are only seen in days where the shop is extremely busy and staff are hard to come by. Know-it-alls. Know-it-alls are a type of customer who outright refuse to believe when you're telling them the absolute truth, and you're trying to make that as abundantly clear as possible. Most of the time, they will only trust you if it's specifically written down or labeled. If it's not clear, then the customer could turn into a complainer. Know-it-alls will also attempt to prove they know more than you in other heated topics and debates.
The Drunksters. The Drunksters are a group of tipsy customers who come into the store seemingly by complete mistake. They attempt to pick up random objects which seem alien to them and sometimes end up talking to customers and staff with their horrible breath. Usually, drunksters will not buy any products, but their behavior and smell can be enough for security to escort them off the premise. Oh, and be sure to check around a drunkster, you may find an empty bottle or two.
The Flirters. The Flirters are a group of typically female customers that will attempt to flirt with male staff members so that they can try and sell products to them for free or for money off. Flirters can be terribly annoying, since they can cause staff members to lose their job or get disciplinary action if they either accept the offer or the customer complains to the managers of sexual assault or attack. That's double standards for you. The Unfunny One. The Unfunny Ones are a rare group of customers who think that the jokes that they make are drop-dead hilarious, when in reality, you're just left there scratching your head and maybe trying to make a faint, weak smile. Case in point, you could be scanning an item and it just won't scan, and it's really frustrating you, and then they drop some wisdom-filled quip like, well, it must be free then, huh? Or you could be counting their payment and checking that it's real with your counterfeit pen, and they say something like, oh, I made it fresh this morning. Yeah, that's, I've only heard it 6 times today.
Discount shoppers. The discount shoppers are a group of customers who will often ask for some sort of discount on a specific product because we always like to have the best deal. They're often a nuisance since they believe they have every right to have one because they're buying a large number of products and that makes them a special little snowflake. But then why should one customer get a fairer deal than any other customer? Discount shoppers will often turn into complainers or must-have shoppers when things inevitably do not go their way.
The A-hole. The A-hole are customers that come into the store and try to be funny to staff members who are doing benign tasks such as sweeping the floor or cleaning certain products. These customers would say something like, "You missed a spot," or "You could clean my house for an extra payment." Usually these customers are labeled as laid-back parents and are mainly seen on weekends or holidays.
The Offloader. The offloader is a customer who attempts to pay for their items with all of the change they have in their wallet. Now, there's a number of things wrong with this. For starters, it's going to hold up all of the other waiting customers. Secondly, the change they give could be huge, and you'll probably end up spending a lot of time trying to count all of this change and recounting all of it just to be sure.
The phone people. The phone people are shoppers who can't be bothered to get off their phone for 2 seconds to give you a bit of respect and attention you deserve, yet expect you to know what they want by them pointing in the direction of said item, and then you get annoyed to speak to them like you're being the most inconsiderate person in the world for interrupting their oh-so-important conversation.
Derpers. The Derpers are a group of customers that, despite their happy, cheery attitude, will ask where a certain product is in the store when they are standing a foot away from it. Derpers will often ask ridiculous questions that are almost to the point of comical, so it's hard not to laugh or smile at them because of it. Derpers will sometimes turn into know-it-alls when it comes to a personal product of theirs.
Grubbers. Grubbers are customers who bring their food and drink into the store, and usually 9 times out of 10 leave their discarded somewhere else around the store for you to find. Grubbers are generally not allowed in more modern class shops and stores, but the rule is sometimes overlooked. Grubbers can be polite at times and will often ask for trash cans, but their nuisance in dropping food or liquid onto products can be absolutely infuriating.
Complainers. The complainers are just that. They complain about everything wrong in the store: the service, the layout, the price, the attitude, the heat, the rain, the cold. The customers who also bring up complainers are usually dealt with when you try to side with them on certain situations. Some complainers will attempt to ask the dreaded manager routine when the things don't go their way. They also threaten to take a company to court if it doesn't go their way. But they rarely do, and companies know it. Many companies retain an army of well-paid lawyers. That may be one reason a customer saying they'll sue is just irritating and nothing more. Voiders. Voiders are customers who void an item at the last second or forget that they can't afford said item and want it placed back in the store. Usually what happens at the end of the day is a large stock of products unwanted by several customers which are found missing from the appropriate shelves when standard customers come looking for them. Voiders can be incredibly annoying because their constant decision to choose what they want to buy at the checkout causes a queue for the waiting customers.
The drop-in shop. The drop-in shop are a type of customer that will leave products behind the checkout and attempt to walk around the store for more. These customers can be incredibly annoying since the checkout is only a very small area, and before too long, too many products will be littering all over the place. Drop-in shop customers are very frequent in big supermarkets, and unfortunately there really isn't anything that staff can do to stop this unless the managers say otherwise. The forgetters. Forgetters are customers who completely forgot about the day policy when it comes to returning products, and will attempt to complain to staff when they refuse to refund said product. Forgetters are known to cause a scene, shouting aloud so that the other customers are alerted to their presence. Usually forgetters will not win a case, but there have been instances where the manager will side with them and give them a full refund, probably just to shut them up.
The Unboxer. The Unboxers fall under the category of customers who open boxes and packages that are otherwise intended not to be opened before purchase. These are highlighted on items such as batteries, headphones, and other electronic devices. Usually, Unboxers will attempt to see the color of the product and its contents before purchase. Unboxers do not pose a threat to staff unless they refuse to purchase the said product and put it back on the shelf.
Time wasters. Time wasters are shoppers that are not particularly interested in buying anything. They are merely entering the store to just look around and ask the staff many pointless questions that they themselves already know the answers to. Sometimes you could spend an hour or two talking to said customers, only for them to say, "Oh thank you, we're off and not taking a purchase." Time wasters are not to be confused with browsers. A time waster will spend much longer in the store, then leave so they can arrive for that specific meeting or event that will be happening later on that day.
Coupon customers. The coupon customers are a type of shopper that pays for their products with coupons. What else? But see, the annoying thing is with some of these customers is that they attempt to pay with outdated coupons. Coupon customers will attempt to turn into complainers if the coupons don't work. And sometimes these coupon customers will attempt to buy a handful of products with a stash of coupons they saved up in their lifetime. This could cost the staff member an hour or two to count and put through. Scavengers. The scavenger is a criminal customer, very much like the shoplifter. These customers will lurk out of sight and pretend to be just some normal customer, but will sneak small items and other products home. Usually, a scavenger will be shifty, and when confronted by staff, they'll walk the other way. You can usually tell when a scavenger has been present, since a box or product may have been opened, but the contents have gone missing.
Late night shoppers. Late night shoppers are a class all on their own. They're a class of customer that will arrive to purchase something just when the shop is about to close. This is especially annoying when the staff will be forced to stay in the shop until they leave. Usually most shops will attempt to close early or something like that, knowing this ongoing problem. Late night shoppers will turn into complainers when the staff refuses to allow them to shop for obvious reasons. Laid-back parents. Laid-back parents are a group of family customers that refuse to acknowledge their kids when they're in the wrong. They basically let them get away with anything, so that would include playing around with shopping carts, messing with products on the shelves, or simply screaming or crying loudly when they don't get their way. or just generally getting in the way of other shoppers. The laid-back parents will do nothing to prevent this, and on top of that, they'll get extremely annoyed if you try to teach them otherwise, saying things like, "Don't tell me how to raise my kid."
The Demander. The Demanders are shoppers who demand, demean, and order you around like you're simply a slave to obey their every command and whim, and never saying please and rarely ever saying thank you. These guys will make you look for stock, even ordering you to phone up other stores in order to find that one personal product they're after. Usually, they'll just end up turning into a time waster. Fiddlers. Fiddlers are shoppers who, despite the fact that most of the products require no manhandling or anything of the sort, will pick up these products and smear their fingerprints all over them. These shoppers will admire the object, getting close to inspect it, and then they'll forget about where they found it and instead put it back on the wrong place on the shelf. Sometimes they may end up breaking the object or dropping it. Then they'll sheepishly hide the item back from public view and then quietly walk away from the scene as if nobody noticed.
Ravagers. The Ravagers are some of the most foulest members of the public to enter shops. These shoppers will think everyone is beneath them, talk to everyone like they are nothing, and complain about prices, service time, and even the smell. For some reason, these customers expect to be treated better than everyone else because they come in every day to support the business by buying a cheap product. Rude and ill-mannered customers are usually found at the customer service desk or checkouts.